What if I told you the most terrifying battles aren't in any game? That heart-pounding war thunder moment, outmatched, outgunned, and seconds from defeat. Now imagine that. But the stakes are your entire civilization. Today, we're taking the realism of war thunder, thousands of vehicles, a century of warfare, and comparing it to history's most catastrophic first encounters. These weren't just battles. They were moments so devastating that entire cultures vanished. No respawn, no second chance, just game over. Get ready for 5 of the most brutal, one-sided first contacts in human history. The numbers are staggering, the technology gap's insane, and the outcome's absolutely terrifying. This is history like you've never seen it. In War Thunder you lose a match, you respawn, but what if you couldn't? What if the enemy's technology was so advanced it seemed like magic? Imagine your world, no wheels, stone weapons, and suddenly ships larger than buildings appear. Men in metal, weapons that spit fire, riding beasts you've never seen. It's not a battle, it's an extermination. No intelligence, no preparation, no hope, like fighting a tank with a slingshot. The technological gap is an uncrossable chasm. For countless cultures, this was reality. Not just defeat, total obliteration. Their gods, their worldviews, shattered in an instant. The psychological shock was as devastating as the physical destruction. In games, you get another try. In history, when worlds collided, entire civilizations disappeared. Even the most powerful empires weren't immune, as we'll see next. The Roman Empire. Ultimate power, top-tier players, masters of warfare. But then came the Huns. The Huns didn't play by any rules the Romans knew. Horse archers, striking from nowhere, vanishing before the legions could react. Roman tactics, dominant for centuries, became obsolete overnight. It was like tanks facing attack helicopters. No answer, no defense. The psychological impact was immense. The Huns weren't just barbarians, they were a force of nature. Tribes caught in their path were obliterated or sent fleeing into Roman lands, triggering chaos. The Huns erased enemies from the board, destabilizing the empire itself. This was a meta shift, the kings of the old game crushed by a new, terrifying playstyle. No matter how advanced you are, a new challenger can bring your world to its knees. Imagine being an Aztec, your empire powerful, your city a marvel. Then, pale-skinned strangers arrive from the east, matching ancient prophecy. At first, they seem like gods. The psychological advantage is overwhelming. A few hundred Spaniards, led by Cortes, exploit this shock. Even when the Aztecs realize these are men, the Spanish have steel, guns, and horses. Aztec weapons shatter against their armor, but the deadliest weapon is invisible: disease. Smallpox sweeps through Tenochtitlan, killing leaders and warriors, shattering morale. In a year, 40% of the population is gone. Fewer than 1,000 invaders bring down a civilization of millions. It's not just conquest, it's a biological apocalypse and a psychological collapse. The Aztec world is erased, their gods and culture destroyed. The Aztecs' fall was just one in a global pattern. The Inca Empire fell even faster. Disease arrived before the Spanish, crippling them before battle began. It's like your team disconnecting before the match starts, the game lost before it begins. For the Inca, North American tribes, Pacific Islanders, the story was the same: technology, disease, and worldview clashes led to cultural extinction. There is no respawn in history, no loading a previous save. When a language or tradition is lost, it's permanent, a loss for all humanity. The scars are still visible today: displacement, lost knowledge, ongoing struggles. These aren't just stories, they're living wounds. In games the stakes are temporary, in reality the consequences are forever. Technological superiority without empathy is devastating. These events shaped our world, and their echoes remain. We've seen how being outmatched in a game is nothing compared to the horror faced by real civilizations. These stories are warnings. What happens when worlds collide with no empathy and a massive power gap? That's why we tell them, so they're never forgotten. Understanding these tragedies helps us value culture and empathy. Which historical mismatch shocked you most? Let us know in the comments. If you learned something, obliterate that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most insane moments. Your support keeps these stories alive. From War Thunder to real history, the lesson is clear. Power and technology carry immense responsibility. These aren't just tales of conquest, they're reminders of how quickly a world can vanish. By confronting these stories, we honor those lost and understand the forces shaping our world. Never stop questioning, never stop learning, and never forget the stories that made us who we are. Thanks for watching and stay curious.